So, here's our next lesson. I know you've seen signs that look like this. We'll buy your house, quick close, cash deal, as is, all that stuff that they say. And no commissions, no fees. A lot of people are really taken with this, and a lot of old ladies and people that might live out of state and have a family property or something that needs to be sold have been taken with these signs because it seems like I don't have to do anything, and I don't have to clean out of all of Grandma's McCall's magazines from 1973 through 1991, or the garbage in the basement and whatever else is in this house. And frankly, in Pittsburgh, we have a lot of houses like that where people have effectively abandoned the family house. Well, what you don't know is what's going on behind the scenes with these offers and the signs on the side of the road. We buy ugly houses and such. Those people are called wholesalers. And what they do is they participate in taking the equity out of the property that's there. So you might think, oh, grandma's house is a mess and we can't get anything for it, and I don't have time to run over there and do all the renovations that need to be done and clean out 3 roll off dumpsters of junk that need to go. So when someone comes at us and brings us an offer for $30,000 or 20 or $15,000, we're just going to be rid of that tax liability. We're going to be rid of the noose around our head and neck trying to deal with this property. That's what realtors are for. If you have a good realtor, they're not afraid to address circumstances like that and help you get out of a mess like that. But these wholesalers have some offshore folk that will ring, 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 dial for dollars for them, and will call you. They will send mailers to you, and they'll do it until you finally either pick up the phone or you decide that you're going to respond to one of their mailers. And that's when you lose equity in your home. If a property is priced right for the condition that it's in, it's going to sell. That's just the way real estate works. But people tend to think I have such a mess on my hands and I don't want to deal with it. And those greedy realtors want all that money. Uh, and so they decide that they're going to deal with some greedy guy or gal that's ready to steal the equity out of their home or your grandma's home or your brother's home or whoever's house it is or your own home, right? So this is how it works. A wholesaler does that reach out on massive scales to on a massive scale to all of these different people out there in maybe your predicament. And when they reach out, eventually someone says, yeah, I want this much for the property and that's the way it is, and I'll take this much. And they'll whittle you down after a little bit, usually, to get it to the number that they want. But they've already done the research to know that, well, this house is screwed up, but if it's fixed up, it's maybe worth $100,000 or $160,000, and we're gonna get it for this $30,000 number because the people don't wanna they feel like they're gonna have to deal with some level of the involvement of fix it up, clean it out, uh, do something to make it marketable. And a lot of times people just feel like my property isn't marketable, so I'm gonna take what I can. But what you're missing is that wholesaler comes in. He says, I'm going to buy your house for cash. They put hand money and earnest money deposit down. They say, I need 60 days to buy the property. Or maybe they even say, I just need 30 days to buy the property. And they already know they have other investors out there that would gladly pay, say, $70,000 for it. So they offer you the 30,000 and you think, oh, that's good. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. I don't have to pay all those commissions. And I'm just going to sell it smooth. I don't have to pay people in and out of there. I don't have to meet people. My realtor doesn't have to meet people. And so you go for the easy routine, right? But if that wholesaler is offering you the transaction purchase price at 30, and he knows he has an investor that can buy it at 70, and that investor knows if they put 30 into it, they'll have $100,000 invested, but they can sell it for 160. You're the guy that kind of lost out in that $30,000 margin there, aren't you? Whereas if you have a realtor that exposes your property while priced right to the MLS at 60, and you say, I want to sell it as is. I'm only going to work with a cash offer because that's all I can work with. Then, and I got to pay that realtor. Typically in Pennsylvania on these lower price properties, we tend to have like a $3,000 minimum commission, or at a very minimum at a company that's probably not doing anything really for you, a $2,000 commission. I Paying the $3,000 commission per side makes more sense because you're getting reputable people that you're dealing with, realtor wise. So if you subtract that 6,000 from that 30,000, we're at $24,000, right? So there is a way for you to make back that $24,000 versus just giving some guy or gal the money in between, ergo wholesaler, and saying, hey, here's 30 grand for you to do the job that I would have just had a realtor do, who's going to legally protect me, watch out for my best interests. I don't know. Doesn't it kind of sound a little funny to just give away $30,000 to some unlicensed person because they called you nonstop? So that's what these wholesalers do. I have worked with them. I'm not afraid to work with them for my buyers. When a wholesaler has their a property tied up, they've got it tied up. So if that person already gave away the $30,000 and your buyer can be that investor because you know the wholesaler, hey, why not represent your buyer the way you're supposed to? And I'll put together a deal with a wholesaler. But I'm going to tell you, when you are trying to sell a property, this we buy houses for cash stuff, you need to put on the back burner and still contact a licensed real estate agent who has a fiduciary or legal responsibility to you. That's today's little real estate rant with Chad. I hope you got something out of that. Please comment, subscribe, like, and if you got questions, ring me up. I've got time to answer your questions, and I actually pick up the phone.